But one of America's most popular game shows is turning 30. Wheel of Fortune is celebrating its 30th anniversary.
And this week, the show's been on the road on location in New York City. I caught up with the Wheel cast at a taping of one of their 30th anniversary shows.
Here are the stars of America's Game. That's Sajak and Vanna White.
Nearly 6,000 episodes, close to 5,600 costume changes, and more than $200 million in cash and prizes.
There's 1E.
30 years later, and Wheel of Fortune is still reaping the benefits of its own good fortune, being one of the most popular syndicated game shows in television history. When you look at the 30th anniversary, the success, the longevity of the show, does it ever surprise you?
Well, I mean, it's surprising only because most shows don't do this.
You got 5 of them. How's that?
While most shows were trying to reinvent the wheel in an effort to attract audiences, Wheel of Fortune's creators simply stayed true to the program's format.
We're just playing hangman, you know. It's not brain surgery, as they say. And yet we seem to have become an important part of people's daily routine, and that's a really nice spot to be in.
And the show has been in that nice spot since its inception.
I think the changes that have occurred over the last 30 years have been so subtle because the basis of the game has remained the same, and that's what I think makes it work.
If you think about it, there's no need to have that giant clunky wheel going around. There are so many interesting electronic things you could do, but we could never get rid of the clunky wheel. Or Vanna, do we really need someone to touch the, you know, but you got rid of Vanna, there'd be a civil war.
It's working, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The wheel is still being spun the same way it was during Pat Sajak's very first show back in 1981 and Vanna White's first show in '82. The price of a vowel is still the same, just $250. One of the few changes on the show over the years, the electronic puzzle board. If you remember the original puzzle board, it was made up of letters that had to be manually changed, and according to the show's executive producer, that was quite a process.
A black curtain was wheeled in front of the puzzle board. At the end of a puzzle, they had to stop tape. They took those slides out, put the new slides for the next puzzle in, and so you do that 5-6 times a show. Suddenly your 30-minute shows become 45 or 50 minutes, and everybody's energy just absolutely evaporates.
4L.
But now, thanks to the electronic puzzle board, the shows are practically shot in real time, which means a quicker change in between tapings for Vanna. And change is something Vanna has become accustomed to doing often, taping 5 to 6 shows in one day, which after 30 years equals a lot of outfit changes.
Every 2 weeks I go in for a fitting where I'll try on probably 100 gowns, and we pick the top 12.
And after nearly 6,000 episodes, neither Vanna nor Pat focus on numbers.
Van and I used to sit around 10 years into this thing and go, well, how long do you think this can go on? And in 20 years, well, how long do you...
I remember when I first started with the show 30 years ago, I was sitting in the makeup chair, kind of like this, next to Pat, and I said, I wonder where we'll be in 10 years. And it's been 30.
Now we don't even ask the question. It just does. This show may be on forever, really, and it's going to go on past Vanna and me. I mean, at some point, one or both of us is going to say, that's enough. Not because we're sick of it or we hate it, but it's just, there's a time for everything. And I have 2 goals about the show. I want to leave while it's still very popular, and I want to leave before people start saying, oh, what happened to him? So we may be getting close to that latter one.
And of course, you can catch Wheel of Fortune weeknights at 7:30 here on News 8.
The executive producer you talked to also does Jeopardy.
He's also the executive producer of Jeopardy. He said one of the highlights of his career with Jeopardy was shooting in New Haven at Yale.
Because of the stature of Yale, right?
Exactly. Said it upped the game to have, Ivy League contestants.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.